Hi, I'm Heather Vitale, and welcome back to Post Time. Dan Rawlings is a new face on the Delaware racing scene. After having set career highs with 200 wins and almost $2.8 million in purses earned in 2014, the Reinsman, who was a regular driver at the Meadows in Pennsylvania, journeyed east from the Keystone State to the First State. Dan wasn't born into the harness racing business. He told us how a chance meeting not so many years ago resulted in him falling in love with the sport.
Growing up as a kid, actually, I lived in Maine when I was little, and Nick was one of my neighbors, and he was always into horses, and we used to go to the races, and we all had our favorite drivers, and we'd go there every weekend. Our parents would gamble, and we'd go watch races, and it'd probably been 10 years since I'd seen Nick, and I met Nick's parents at a grocery store one day, and talking about him, asking how he was doing. He said he was down in Pinehurst, North Carolina, working for Gates Brunet. And I called Nick up. I had a couple months laid off, and I went down to visit him, and here I am.
So you go down to Pinehurst, and immediately you fall in love with the horses?
Yeah, you didn't have to deal with people. I mean, you're working with beautiful animals. It's a fun game. I mean, it's a competitive sport. I'm a competitive person. I love the enthusiasm. And then at that time, they were babies, so to like watch them develop into qualifying, baby races, qualifiers, racing, and then just progress from there.
You were in your mid-20s, right, when you got into harness racing, correct?
I think I was 26 when I put my first harness on.
So that's relatively old, when we're talking about people getting into harness racing. Now, what were you doing before? I mean, you had to have some kind of job. You're making a living doing something.
Yeah, I mean, I struggled finding where I wanted to be when I was younger. I was a delinquent. I ain't gonna beat around the bush. I had trouble finding where I wanted to be, and I got a great job for Boston Development Association. We built Staples stores and TJX Incorporated stores across the nation. I got to travel all around. Unfortunately, at that age when you're traveling, you don't typically save a lot of money, but I had a really good time. And so it was fun, I got to see a lot of the United States doing it. I had a lot of fun, but I don't know, I just found something with this. I just really like the sport, and the people in it, and it does, it's all a family business here, which is a little different for me. I don't have a name to back me up, like who was Rawlings before. It was a baseball, I mean, it really wasn't in the horse business. So it is what it is, and I can't say it's been too much of a struggle. I think hard work and a little bit of luck. I've gotten along quite lucky.
Yeah, and obviously you have talent. It needs to be fostered. And you had some really great people, though, who were looking out for you, right? Like, who did you start under? I mean, other than Gates. David Wade, I heard that name come up, which I love David. I mean, we're talking SJ's Photo, Trade Balance. Like, he's a legend.
I actually named my son David after David. David's like my father. I mean, literally, like if David called me right now and told me he needed help to go back there, I'd go back in a heartbeat. David and Norm Fluette, who unfortunately just passed away this year, which is actually how I got the colors of the star on my arm, was from Norm Fluette, and he was a big influence as far as like learning to be a horseman, respect the animal first. There's always next week, etc. David Wade taught me the game. He taught me more than just the game, the business aspect of it. This is a business. You can't have a pet. Just took everything that in like a sponge as I could, and I was just around great people. And Dave knows the story to this day. Like, I went there, he asked me if I could read a stopwatch. I said yeah. I really didn't know if I could, but I was confident. And we went out there and we trained 6 sets of babies that day. I cut every mile, and I was hired at the end of the day. So it all worked out. And I worked for Dave for a couple of years, and for about a year and a half. And I told Dave that I was thinking about driving. I drove one horse for him at a fair, and she won, and then I was addicted to driving.
You've had the opportunity to drive a lot of really nice stakes horses. You've really made a name for yourself at the Meadows. I mean, that's been incredible for you, right?
Yeah, and like Sam McKee helped me out. Like I went to the Meadowlands. I never thought I'd drive there, honestly, and I just airmailed everything, put them right down the highway. I was really long shots. And apparently some of the trainers liked it. And the next week I was listed on horses, and I think I won 3 the next week and then 5 the week after that. So I've just been in the right places at the right time, and I've had good people behind me, and people talk about me, and everyone seems to, support me for the most fact. But the Meadows is definitely where I went and where I got established. I just I thought it was time to try bigger things. Like the people there, they're great people, but they've been there forever. They have, you know, like they have their people. And needless to say, like I was the backup guy. And I just want to try to be more than that. And not that I haven't done well there. I mean, I've really been fortunate. I can't complain at all, but, you know, Columbus took a shot, he got America, so here we are. So I packed up the family and said, I made bigger mistakes. We can always go back, so here we are. And, you know, it's a little slow right now, but I expect it to be like anything else. You know, you got to perform. Nobody remembers who finishes third, that's for sure. So you got to get out there and win races, and that's why I'm here.
Well, we're happy to have you, and you would think I'd be ending the interview actually like on a harness racing note, but I can't do that because you have all these tattoos. So I just have to know about the tattoos. You say they're more than just on your arms.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm covered with them. One of my closest friends, he's an artist in Worcester, and he has a parlor there, and I was basically his scrap paper. So you know, there's some cover-ups on cover-ups here, but all in all, he made them all look really nice, and I've had compliments over the years.
Do you have a favorite one that you can show us?
Not really. I mean, I got Jesus. Everyone always asks me, why do you have Jesus and the Reaper? I said, because if you believe in God, you believe in the devil.
Okay. Well, I guess that is something that we can end on then, right? That actually the end. So, oh, thank you, Dan. Best of luck here in Delaware, and we're happy to have you.
Thank you.